Things that have been important to me are being able to make a difference to people's lives, and so that's one thing that social care has really enabled me to do throughout my career. But more importantly, the fact that no 2 days are ever the same. I wanted a career that was going to be challenging, that would bring real variety over the course of a working week. We would also have the opportunity to do many different things over the course of a career, and that's certainly something that social care has given me. I think, again, for me, it's about this ability to make a real difference to people's lives, to use a set of skills that you develop over time that both have an academic basis but also built up through experience. It's about working as part of a team, about knowing the strengths that you have but also the strengths that your colleagues have, and about using those collectively to make a real difference for people. I think there's been a few. I remember working in a residential care home and cook phoned in sick, and two of us had to make roast beef and Yorkshire pudding for 30 people, which, given we were both vegetarians, was a particular challenge. I also remember working to support the closure of a long stay hospital, and there was a young man in his early 20s, and the view of the consultant psychiatrist was that this was a man who really needed to be in long-term hospital care. But over the course of about 18 months I worked with him and in a sense challenged some of the views that were held about him, and he moved back to Croydon where he'd originally kind of come from and had a flat with support and avoided being in long-term institutional care. So I think for me the bit there was actually really making a difference to an individual who was at a point in their life where things could have gone in very different ways, and about being committed, understanding what was important to somebody and helping them achieve that. I think come in with an open mind. There's so many different aspects of social care. Social care changes over time, so I think if you come in expecting to be able to do the same thing day in, day out for many years, you're going to be sorely disappointed. But if you come in with an attitude and a view which is about, this is around innovation, I can do things differently over the course of my career, take opportunities as they come along. I've had the opportunity to do many different things across my career. Some of them were things that I picked up and did in a sense in addition to the day job, but gave me extra experience. So I contributed to the development of an IT system for social care. I worked in a mental health team but had particular interest in supporting people with learning disabilities, worked with colleagues in the NHS to form a new multidisciplinary service. It's really taking the opportunities as they come along, and I think understanding that all of these should help you be a better professional but also should make a difference to the public. I was attracted by a number of things. Clearly Cumbria has got a fantastic environment, it's a great place to live and work. But more critically, Cumbria is somewhere where there's real innovation going on. We sometimes keep it hidden and we're perhaps not as good as we might be about going out and selling the good things that are happening in Cumbria. But I was very much attracted by the innovation, the opportunity to do things differently. And that's something, a tradition I think that we've been building on in the last couple of years with the work around personalisation, around the development of assisted technologies, a really close partnership working with colleagues in the NHS, and our focus on professional practice and freeing people up to focus and work as professionals in their local communities, to get alongside and understand their local communities rather than just transact a series of services such as home care. So I think it's that innovation, that tradition of innovation that's been in Cumbria that's still alive and well. I think social care is one of those areas where there's a lot of doom and gloom about how it will be afforded, how we will be able to sustain social care services. But it's also an area where demand for social care is growing, and both in Cumbria and nationally we know there's an ageing population. So I think it's a career in which there's a bright future. It's a future in which people will need to innovate, to think creatively, to understand some of the solutions that already exist in communities, to understand how technology can help people, but never to lose track of the fact we are often dealing with the most vulnerable people in society, and we need to be able to get alongside people, understand what's important to them, understand the strengths that they have and how we as individual professionals and as a service can build on those. And that's good old-fashioned professional practice. That's something which there'll be a strong future for. I feel very proud. I know that when I set out to become a social worker, my parents had some doubts about that, but I've had a really fascinating working life. I've had many different opportunities, and although I'm currently Director of Social Service, I never set out with the view that that's what I would become, but I think it's an example of how you can develop a career in social care, and it can take you in many different places. So I think I'd feel kind of proud that they wanted to follow in my footsteps, and I'd encourage them to take the opportunity.